Hey everyone, Diavolo here, and in today's extra special breakdown, we are going to go over the latest 2 chapters inside of Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo. Of course, if you like these weekly or bi-weekly recaps, then make sure to leave a like as it really helps in pushing my content to a bunch of other goated people. Plus, if you are new and want to keep up to date with Modulo, then make sure to subscribe. Standing there, Mino screams out Yuji's name in an attempt to get his attention. However, bro just sighs, realizing he was finally spotted by someone. Breaking out of the window above them, Osuki, who's still somehow able to move. Don't know how he ain't dropped to the floor after that last attack from Yuji where he literally eviscerated the entire building, but either way, he drops down from above with his axe in hand and attempts to strike Yuji. Catching the falling attack and in turn shattering the floor below him, Yuji easily blocks the axe. Looking down at bro's grip, Osuki can tell that this random dude isn't even touching his weapon and starts to question who he is. From what he can tell, it's as if he's not from this world. He even has the same presence as a Kalin. Cracking his fingers while joking that Osuki seems reasonably sturdy, Yuji grabs the axe's head and throws his hand back as it catches alight with curse energy. Mino, watching this, can't believe the precision behind Yuji's curse energy manipulation, noting how he didn't even sense anything from him until it started to build around his fist. Letting loose, Yuji effortlessly lands a black fish on Osuki that he notes won't kill the bloke. What it does to though, honestly, could be considered a near-death experience as it violates the man, bouncing him off multiple nearby buildings, eventually leaving him comatose on the roadside, surrounded by rubble. Straight up not having moved from the spot where he activated his piercing blood attack, Yuji pulls up his hand while getting the attention of Mino. Without even looking, bro fires off a miniature piercing blood that slices the side of Mino's cheek. Instantly following this, he starts to feel nauseous before vomiting on the roadside. Obviously, this is due to the side effect of Yuji's cursed womb infused blood. Pointing out how he also roughed up all of the sorcerers inside of the building and aliens, Yuji tells him they'll all be fine. It may take 2 or 3 days, but all that will happen is they'll feel like they're slowly recovering from a bad cold. Funnily enough, he also says they should probably pass that info on to the aliens if they're feeling generous as well. Seething with rage though, Mino screams at Yuji, asking what the hell he's even doing. To which he points out how it wouldn't exactly be fair if he just knocked out only the aliens. Not caring about that though, Mino asks why he's showing up now after all of this time. Due to his previous absence, Yuka's life is now forfeit. Also not caring about that, a confused Mino listens as Yuji says he no longer cares about being Yuji Itadori. Looking at his hand seemingly unchanged in 70 years, he says veterans don't die. They wither away with time. He shouldn't need to worry about the curses possibly escaping Tokyo. He'll handle that, and when it comes to Yuta's grandkids, if they lose, then he'll clean up after them as well. Right now, his only goal is to make sure that no one tries to get in the way of the 4 currently fighting. I think Yuji saying he really doesn't care about him anymore is a callback to when Gojo tells Yuji his final wishes, that Satoru Gojo does not matter. The words, "it does not matter," were also brought up when Yuji met Iori, Yuka and Sudugi's father earlier on in this manga, so that there could also be a major theme inside of Modulo along with the idea of just duality. Anyways, and still annoyed, Mino tells Yuji he won't ever forget nor forgive him, making Yuji laugh. Walking off, Yuji looks forward while double checking with Gojo that that was the right choice. With him saying something like that, it almost makes me think that Yuji can go into the realm from season 1's intro, or I guess season 3's now, and break bread with all of his fallen friends. Cutting back across the battlefield, Deborah floats there in front of Maharaga. From what he can tell, curse energy is negative, but it multiplies itself, turning into a positive force and granting the user extreme regenerative power. Forming a ball of negative energy in his hands, he wonders what would happen if he doesn't use it on himself, but instead fuses it into his technique. Sensing something, Maharaga can only watch as Deborah, while asking what they call this ability on Earth, starts fusing negative curse energy into his own. In this moment, Deborah, with his brand new curse technique reversal, once again found a possible way to defeat Maharaga through personal effort. Knowing that he can't possibly let him adapt here, Deborah tells himself that he needs to finish the beast off in an instant. Flashing away from them for now though, and over to the other battle, Maro manipulates the wood around Sudugi like he's Hashirama before turning the moisture in the air to ice in an attempt to freeze him in place. Maro darts in, trying to strike him, however, Sudugi simply smashes his way out of the ice, forcing Maro back with the sheer force of the punch. Calling for Rika now, Sudugi flexes his hand, symbolizing that he wants a blade, and making the curse moan with pleasure as she truly loves men who are rotten to their core. Planting his hand on a part of the shadow below him, Rika sends up to him from the depths of hell, Mai's finest creation. Watching this and really just confused on how Sudugi pulled a sword out of the freaking shadows below him, Maro wonders where he's aiming now. Over with Sudugi, Rika tells him to just focus on swinging the blade, she'll decide the damage input. Suddenly, Maro turns his back around as he senses a wave of curse spirits coming for them. Screaming out for them to not come any closer, Maro theorizes the curses are fleeing because they were frightened by Deborah's presence. Slightly closer to the approaching wave himself, Yuji casually walks atop a building, remarking how the humans completely failed to gather the curses in one spot. He guesses that they most likely underestimated just how absurd their numbers could become without a grand purge to cull them all. However, he gets that it can't be helped since this generation is still new to this kind of warfare. Whipping his own hand forth, Yuji activates Dismantle, sending forth 2 insanely destructive slashes that wipe out the entire tsunami of curses and level 2 separate parts of the already destroyed city. Flashing over to Maro, dude's third eye pulsates violently from the effects of such a large amount of curses suddenly dying. Seeing the alien curl up in pain, Sudugi launches in and slices Maro across the arm and chest. However, he notes that his attack was too shallow. Desperate to finish this fight, Maro catches his brother's returning blade and declares that it all ends now. Opposite him though, in his own world, Sudugi finishes a conversation that he must have been having with Rika before she tells him to do his best. Moments later, her mask falls from his head, confusing Maro and getting him to question if Sudugi's transformation is over since the curse energy around him is drying up. For a moment or two, Sudugi just stands there with a blank look on his face. Suddenly vanishing from where he stood, our boy hits the instant transmission as he reappears now directly in front of Maro, who hasn't even registered the change. Glancing down, Maro catches a glimpse of Sudugi, moments before what I'm assuming is his blood is splattered across the road sign. Flowing into the past now, Sudugi just stands there talking with Maki. She told him he was a lot like her. Losing something can in turn become his strength, but that strength is a double-edged sword, so she warns him to be careful. If he starts to seek out power, then he need not throw away things he didn't intend to lose. Maki reveals to him how she used to have a younger sister, something he already knew. She lets him know that it was thanks to her that she became strong. Still, she questions if she really ever needed to become strong. Even if she didn't exist, if Mai hadn't died, someone else might have done something, might have been able to fix the clan's issues. Now in her old age, she can say yes, it was a sweet, naive fantasy. Even still, she keeps on questioning if they could have chosen a different future when Mai is here. Flashing back to reality, Maki tells Sudugi to not cry as tears just pour from the third eye of Maro and blood splatters in front of him. Right in front of Maro, and as I suspected, but you guys never saw because I didn't release the freaking video in time, Sudugi is slashed from the abdomen all the way up through to his shoulder. Collapsing forward, Sudugi falls over Maro, who just holds him and starts to question why. If Ruki just followed through with the original swing he'd planned, he would have won, so Maro asks why he let go of the sword. Not really knowing himself, Ruki says that he just felt like something was wrong after all. He felt like a future where he won the way he did wouldn't be right. Screaming back, Maro tells him that this isn't about right or wrong, plus wasn't this all for his sister to start with? Agreeing with him, Bro says he doesn't really know anything, he's only 17 and doesn't understand anything anymore, so what is he supposed to do? Terror floods through Maro's veins as he tells his fellow fighter that's not the one. On Earth, in Japan, the ones who have been living here for years are the curse users. There was always life. Cursed spirits are a part of that life cycle, and that's what Maro was trying to show them. Maro tries saying that he knew what they wanted was far-fetched, but them, they are the ones who have had their place taken from them, those who have never had a place to begin with. So we ask Sudugi, what are they supposed to do? If the people who were here from the very beginning are the ones in the right, then the Earth, the universe, who does that belong to? Curled over, tears pouring out, Maro tells Sudugi that he also doesn't understand anything anymore. Suddenly, a voice tries getting his attention, anyone's. Glancing up, Maro witnesses the real ghost of Rika Orimoto standing before him, slowly beginning to fade away. Pulling on up though, the massive alien mothership glows above them. Within what I'm assuming is the ship, rests a large cursed spirit, or possibly even an extremely large Kalin. Don't actually know at the moment, wonder if Rika is going to be some sort of communicator between the two realms, because it's making sense to me slowly that there are now obviously good and bad kind of cursed spirits. Directly under the massive alien spaceship, amidst floating building debris, Deborah wonders if he can manipulate the energy into a sort of barrier. He asks Maharaga if this technique exists on Earth, however, since Bro never speaks, he doesn't reply. What he does do though after Deborah tries to get his attention once more is start adapting to something else. Noticing that the wheel had started back up, and again unable to figure out what the creature is adapting to, Deborah initially thinks it could be his curse energy, but on a second thought realizes it could be his entire existence. Pulling up his own hands in preparation to expand his domain, Deborah laughs. For him, this is the first time he's really wanted to exchange words with someone even quieter than him. Instantly following this, Deborah activates his insanely elaborate domain expansion, the distant realm of deadly lights and living darkness, inverted pathways. Honestly, what a banger of an ability name. Reminds me of some of like the sun and moon type techniques from Demon Slayer. Elsewhere though, and surprisingly up above everyone now on the spaceship, Yuji is introduced to the Elder Kalin. So obviously I was wrong about it being like a curse spirit or something, but the Kalin was up there. Maro is confused about how he knows of them, but Yuji just explains he got his information from Todo, who he calls the funny guy with an instrument for a hand. Don't know why he's explaining that because I doubt Maro has even met Todo yet, but continuing on, Maro explains that the Kalin is the longest lived of all the Romelian tribe and the being they offer their prayers to. After pointing out just how similar Kalins are to curses, Yuji asks why he was brought here, which obviously explains that Maro, after the fight with Sudugi, found Yuji who was probably nearby and saw him do that massive dimensional slash on the freaking curses approaching him, went and got him, and then they've come up to the spaceship because he had a plan. Either way, and continuing on, Maro explains that his curse technique determined that Yuji was suitable for something, confusing Yuji even more. Thinking for a moment, Maro tells Yuji how he wants to begin harmony between Earthlings and the Samurian people by using the curse energy inside of Yuka's ring and the Mull that made up their spaceship. However, it's not just something he can go ahead with under his own authority. Instead, he wants Yuji to pass judgment on this harmony and to serve as a witness, the representative of Earth. Questioning what the hell harmony even is and what exactly he's talking about means, Maro breaks it down for our bro's Guna brain. Pretty much all he wants is to create a world where cursed spirits are no longer born. Standing there, kinda stunned since that's honestly something his friends have been trying to do for years, Yuji reaches inside of his old ass jacket and brings out Choso and Yuki's notebook. If you remember back inside of the main Jujutsu Kaisen series, Yuki had written all of her research on the soul inside of this notebook. Continuing on, and with Yuji ready to roll now, Maro brings up how his technique also chose a third person whose technique is key to harmony. Pulling back a curtain and revealing a dark abyss, Maro explains that they place before them as a crossroads for every soul on Earth. The person his technique chose just happens to be one of its inhabitants. Initially stunned as he walked inside, Yuji cracks up laughing as he sees an old foe. Standing before him, Mahito, the goat, tells Yuji that he's freaking late. He's been waiting years for his old ass to show up because unless he ended up dying first, he couldn't. Stoked that he's finally here though, Mahito asks Yuji how it was that he ended up dying. Quickly double taking though, bro realizes that Yuji isn't even dead. Speaking up, Yuji says that he was actually called here, causing Mahito to shiver with fear and fall over backwards. He asks how he's even here since he's been waiting all of this time for him. Ignoring his ass though, Maro and Yuji square up above Mahito as they get ready to bring harmony to Earth. Honestly, it's kind of funny that Mahito's been stuck in this purgatory for who knows how long. It's probably got something to do with his technique being intertwined with the barrier around Tokyo. But you know, I'm imagining we're going to get some more of an explanation on it later on. In the past Kalin game, it was about merging 100 million people into one being. I'm curious now how Yuji will be able to either evolve, I guess, all of humanity, or just do something so that curse energy is wiped out entirely. I'm assuming it will have something to do with the remnants of Tengen and Kenjaku's old barriers, but either way, I think it's safe to say that we are ending the near of Jujutsu Kaisen sequel, and it seems that Giga has finally figured out a way to rid the entire world of curses without actually killing the entire planet, or everyone in Japan at least. Also, if you are still around here, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a like on this video as it really shows that you all want more content just like this. I'm thinking that when Modulo finishes up, I start covering all of Kagurabaki on a weekly basis, while also touching on a few other series like Black Clover in between. Love to know your thoughts down below though, but either way, for now it's been your professional degenerate Diavolo, and I'll see you all in a bit. Bye.